Welcome to Paperbird's Home Club. This is episode 27 and my name is Sean E. Avery. I am the writer, illustrator of these two picture books, All Monkeys Love Bananas and Harold and Grace. And it is my privilege to be chatting to you guys today. So before I show you through my studio and talk a little bit about what I'm working on at the moment and a little bit about my process as a writer, illustrator, I've got a couple of questions that Paperbird Books has asked me to answer for them. And guys, if you haven't been to Paperbird Books before, it is just the most amazing bookshop. And they are doing home delivery now, which is pretty cool. You know, you can order some amazing books and get them delivered right to your doorstep, which is brilliant. So question number one, and very important questions, all of these ones. M&M's or Skittles? That is a toughie. If I'm to be honest here, I would say M&M's, just because sticky lollies like Skittles kind of remind me of when I was a teenager and I used to have braces, and Skittles and sticky things used to stick in them, and it used to just drive me absolutely wild having that feeling of things stuck in my teeth all day. So definitely go with the chocolate, which didn't stick as much, and chocolate's awesome too. Question number two, am I a night owl or an early bird? And I think I'm a little bit of both. I wake up at 5 o'clock most days, and I really like that time of morning because it's really quiet. I go for a walk around my neighborhood and nobody's out, and when I come home I have my nice warm cup of coffee, and I'm ready to power into work. And I usually get at least 1 or 2 really good productive hours out then. And then during the day I'm not as productive. Creatively I start to pick up steam again as it gets to nighttime. After I've had my dinner, that's when I can start sort of creating again. So I guess I just need it to be quiet and peaceful and maybe not so much happening before I get really creative. And realistically, I get, if I'm lucky, about 4 hours of really solid creative work done a day. And of course I am a full-time teacher, so I fit my writing and my drawing just wherever I can. But during the school holidays, yeah, night and morning is when I work best. Question the third, fly or breathe underwater? Well, there's no question about that one. Definitely fly. If I could fly, I would never ever sit in another airplane ever again, and that would be the most amazing thing in the whole wide world. So definitely flying for me. Treehouse or cushion fort? I'd have to say cushion fort. I love getting all cozy and having you know, the big doona around me and the comfy cushions and all that. So a cushion fort for me for sure. And my favorite bird, I really like birds of all types and varieties. I've got heaps of birds tattooed on me. I've got finches, and I've got crows and budgies and all kinds of birds all over me. So I'm a really big bird fan. If I had to pick a favorite bird, it's gonna sound lame, but probably a duck. I think ducks are really cute animals. Well, cute birds, probably the cutest bird ever. The way the water sort of just flows off them, and the way they kind of duck down and their little legs flop in the air. I remember as a kid, I would just refuse to eat duck if it was cooked for me. I mean, I'm a vegetarian now, so I don't eat any meat, but back in the day, I remember very distinctly the absolute horror at the idea of eating a duck, because I thought, how could you eat such a cute animal? Will I draw you a bird? Yes, I can draw you a bird. I've got to do it inside my studio though. Before I start drawing, I'd like to show you through my studio a little bit and kind of walk you through how I like to work, and I guess a little bit about my process and a little bit about what I'm working on at the moment. So let's head on over. Okay, so this is my home studio over here, and I think the best way to do this is to maybe just, I guess, start at one side and just move my way around. So these are a couple of my portraits which have been done by a lady named Sally Ridgway. She is an absolute weapon of an illustrator. This is a portrait of Stephen King over here, a portrait of Dr. Seuss. So basically, every now and again, I get her to draw her, get her to draw me a picture of one of my heroes, and maybe a little quote by them. And I tend to put a little toy on top of the frames as well. So obviously Dr. Seuss, he's got Cat in the Hat there, and that's Georgie Denborough from It, which of course Stephen King wrote. I've got a few other bits of art over here. On this shelf are kind of like my most used drawing equipment. Got a lot of pencils over here. I love Blackwing pencils, so I use them plenty. He has a couple of my ink pens in here, so like fine liners, all that sort of stuff. Crafty things, scissors, rulers, glue for my collage work, more pencils, a bunch of paintbrushes. I've got my thumbtacks and my inks here, and a few paint pens. He has a couple of pet portraits by Sally Ridgway of my cat Muchie and my cat Humphrey, who are completely ungrateful and totally adorable. This is my little gratefulness board. Every time I wake up, first thing I do in the morning is I write 3 things that I'm grateful for, and I guess this morning I was grateful for a refreshing sleep, the chance to get back to school because we started at school again today, and new challenges ahead, obviously, with this online learning stuff. Here's my to-do list I do every night. So today, this is what I have to do. I have to plan my videos. So I'm actually at the moment in the process of creating a few videos for the WA Children's Book Council Make Your Own Storybook competition. So I've got a YouTube channel and I upload all the videos to that, and it's basically a video series explaining how you might make a picture book to enter into this competition specifically. So if you're a kid and you're thinking about making a picture book for this competition, definitely check it out. There's some great tips and tricks on there. I've got to get 1/3 of page 19 of my new book sorted today. I've already gone for my walk. I've had my 10-minute meditation. I've done my Paperbird live stream. This is my marble jar over here. So for every single day that I draw in a row, I take one marble out of this jar and I put it into this one. And it looks like I've been drawing 173 days in a row. If I miss a day, I've got to empty it all back out. This is my inspiration board over here. So whatever I'm working on, I just tack up some inspiration pictures. So at the moment, this is my main character. This is Charlesworth Oinkington. He is a sophisticated, gentle hog. So he's not the sort of warthog that likes to play in the mud. He is he's very sophisticated, likes to drink tea, read poetry, that kind of stuff. This is my drawing station over here. I keep my more drawing equipment down here. This is also stuff I use all the time. My little box filled with my most used drawing equipment. So it's there ready to go whenever I need it. Some oil pastels. So I'm a bit of a mixed media artist. I like to use a lot of different materials. Here's more portraits done by Sally Ridgway. This is my digital desk over here. So after I've done my my illustrations here, then I take them, scan them in, and work on Photoshop over there. Here's my bookshelf. This is usually stacked with just odds and ends, bits and pieces, and things that I'm reading at the moment. So I've been really inspired recently by the work of Gus Gordon, and I love collage, so I'm kind of working on a little bit of collage stuff myself at the moment. More books as usual. Got stacks of books that need to be read everywhere. This is my favorite chair in the whole house. I got this chair for, I think it was $50 secondhand, and my wife hated it at first. It was really gross when I first got it. It smelled like old man pipe tobacco, and it stunk the whole room out, but I just love it. It's the comfiest chair in the whole wide world, and this is the chair that I do a lot of my reading in and a lot of my writing in. So yeah, that's the studio. I'm gonna go and do a quick sketch of a bird for you guys. And the bird that I'm gonna be drawing today, because my story with the gentleman warthog is set in Africa, I'm going to be drawing a Cape vulture. So here's my Cape vulture that I would like to draw. Now, this vulture, he's gonna be hanging around with a couple of these hyenas, and they're gonna be picking over this, I guess, carcass. And Charlie's gonna be looking on in horror, you know, seeing all these animals being really, really gross or like quite brutish. Now, when I'm illustrating something like a vulture, I just try to make sure that I get the most important, I guess, features of it correct, and then the rest I can exaggerate however much I want. So what I know about a vulture is they've got very sort of cruel curved beaks. They've got this kind of weird little hump on the back there, relatively long neck as well, and sort of long taloned claws. But I think the most important thing that I need to nail is the beak, the longish neck, and the slight hump on the back. And I want this one to be kind of picking at a bone or something on the floor. So I'm gonna start by using one of my photographic pencils, a blue one. This one's running a little low, as you can see. I really love these blue pencils. What's cool about them, when I scan my drawings into the computer, anything in blue doesn't show up, so it's very, very handy. And yeah, this is kind of my box filled with all my all the stuff that I like to draw with the most. Got my Copic fine liners, my little white pens, Blackwing pencils. These things are just amazing, favorite pencils to draw with. But I think for today, I just need a really basic art line and a blue pencil. So here we go. I'm gonna sketch out my shape. There we go. So I'm moving really quickly. I'm not really stressing out too much about where things about my lines with my blue pen. But now that I'm using my art line, I'm gonna be more specific and more exact. So here he is with his hooked beak. He's got a little bit of a thing on his nose too, and then on top of his head. And I'm gonna have him have a really big eyeball and a tiny little pupil to make him look a little crazy. Maybe he's got a little chunk of meat that he's pulling from a bone. And here's the bone on the floor here. Okay, here goes his neck and his little hump on the back there. And there you have it, guys. My very, very rough. And I'm gonna rub out some of those blue lines just to make it look a little bit cleaner. There you have it, a very hungry, greedy vulture. And there you have it, Paperbird's Home Club. I hope you enjoyed that quick walk around my studio space and the little drawing of a vulture that I did for you. Just a quick plug for the Children's Book Council of WA's Make Your Own Storybook competition, guys. I highly recommend this competition. It is an amazing opportunity to be recognized for creating your very own book. And especially for those of you who are doing your schooling from home, I think this is a really great creative project to sort of sink your teeth into, and there are, of course, real world prizes for it. And I can speak from experience that creating your own book and holding it in your hands, the feeling is just phenomenal. It is so rewarding. It's a beautiful thing, honestly. I've got a whole bunch of video lessons which are on YouTube. All you need to do is search Make Your Own Storybook with Sean E. Avery, and you can start from lesson 1 and go all the way through to wherever the end lesson is. I think I'm up to about 21 lessons now. And it'll sort of walk you through every step of the way to create your very own book. Thanks for having me, Paperbirds. I'll see you all later.